Good afternoon everybody, welcome back to a Rowley's detailing vlog. With the car now washed, decontaminated and dry, it's now had an IPA wipe down, we can see a true finish of the paintwork. Bear in mind this is a 5-year-old BMW. Already I can see signs of buffer trails, sanding marks all up down this left hand side of the car, which is not a pretty sight at all. They run all down the left hand side. Not so much on this wing here, but swell marks present nonetheless. Got some age related marks just there. This boot lip here is all pretty much screwed. It's just people bringing stuff out of the boot and it's scraping the top lip there, but see what we can do there. Signs of what looks to be overspray on the boot. You can see it's quite a nice line that goes all the way across where the number plate would sit. Around the badge at the back we've got all sorts of really tight defects. And especially underneath here, I don't know if you can see that without the light actually. You see all their marks even without the light, all around here. Don't really know why they're there because this is an electronic tailgate, so don't need to press anywhere in particular to close the boot. But really all this back end of the car is all scratched up and more defected than the rest of the car. It is a touring, so it's going to be used more for the boot space and practicality. I've got a nice little scratch just in that area there. More defects just underneath there. These are all typical for a car that's 5 years old. Can't be perfect forever. Just your normal swirl marks on this side. Look quite, someone's been here before with some sort of machine. Haven't done a very good job. More swirl marks. Previous paint touch up just there. And a few more on the bonnet, just there. And there. Can't really tell what this is, but you can sort of see there. It just sort of looks like someone's resprayed some this top bit here, because you can see a bit of a line there where someone's not masked it off and blended it properly, and you're left with this amount of overspray. So that's going to need to be dealt with. Typical of these pillars to be like this, they're very soft, they scratch very easily, so I'm not surprised that they're swirl marks and scratched like this. These mirrors are also that black soft piano trim. They don't look as swirled, but they definitely look dull and battered, so what we can do with those. On the left hand side you can see paint come away here, and we're left with more scratches. Looks like something's scraped along here, and also we've got more paint touch-ups. I can get that there and there and there. I just realised I haven't actually explained what the car's in for. So the car is in for our 2-stage paint correction, crystal stone light and exo on the paintwork, and then I've just got to protect all this rubber and plastic trim everywhere, and that should be it. So hoping to look for like 5 days with it, maybe 6. Judging by the condition of the paintwork, you're probably looking at about 80 to 90% defect removal. I think we'll be lucky to get 90%, but anywhere between there I'm happy with. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on and get this paint sorted. Okay, so far I'm pretty happy with how the door is turned out. This is the rear passenger side door. There is one thing that I'm not particularly happy with, which I did notice before I started. You can see all these straight lines, and you can see there, just above the light, there's a couple of dots. I don't know what they are, but someone's tried to rub them off. They haven't come off. It looks like someone's used like a scouring pad or something, but it looks pretty bad still. So I'm going to try and chase this out. Paint depth readings are good, so I'm going to try this with a 3-inch, and then after that it will be just to get underneath the door handle with a bit of finger polishing, and then we'll move on to the next panel. Okay, so we're more than 50% through the cutting stage, which is a big motivator really, with the hardness of the paint and the many passes to even get to like 80% defect removal. It's a good stage to be at and to recognise. So what's been cut far? The roof has been cut, the rear bumper and the boot has been cut, this entire left hand side of the car has been cut, and the bonnet has been cut as well. So yeah, we're getting beyond 50%. So I tackled the most affected areas first. So the boot was by far the worst. Even to get to 80% defect removal on there took a good 3 hits, and I don't feel comfortable going any further than that. The whole left hand side, for some reason it had sanding marks all down it, or something similar, and again 2-3 cuts in places, passing cuts. It's just like 80% defect removal has been achieved, and the gloss and clarity is back to where it should be, but there's only so far that I can go with that. And then moving on now to this right hand side, it's not as worse as the left, which is gonna, in my mind, make it much more enjoyable than that side, but we should be good to go now. The time is 20 to 5 on day 3. And yeah, I'm probably going to stay here. My aim is to try and get the cutting complete today. So when I come in tomorrow, I'll reset the unit, sweep it, and then get ready to refine. And that should only take about half a day. But I try and exceed with expectations, and I probably won't be able to get all the cutting done today. But we'll give it a good go. Yeah, no thanks, we're just going to shut the door again. Okay, so usually I'm quite prepared for the next day. So usually I would plug everything on charge. I put my camera battery on charge, my light on charge, and my headphones on charge. However, I took my headphones home with me last night, so I just left the camera battery and the handheld torch on charge. And I came in today and realised that these weren't particularly well charged. I used them for about an hour or so earlier on. Went to go plug them in fine, and carried on the BMW. Came back about half an hour later, realised that the plug wasn't plugged in, so great. Alrighty, so This is before, and that's the after. So noticeable difference in gloss and clarity there. No more movement, no more swirl marks, no haze. You are left with a few defects here and there, but overall the difference is just night and day. So I'm going to do this pillar, I'm going to do the mirror, and hopefully we should be in a good place to start coating for tomorrow. Let's go! It's finished, it's done. 5 days, I believe, was spent, 5.5 days was spent correcting and protecting this BMW 320d. It was a tough one. The left-hand side of the car was probably resprayed at some point, which didn't help matters because the paint was just rock hard, and it had definitely seen a tough life before coming here. The owner of this purchased it about a week ago now, and he brought it straight down to me. He said, look, I can see swirl marks, I can see scratches, please sort it out for me. So the levels that I could take it to is this finish. The left hand side of the car, as I said, had been resprayed, but even then paint depth readings weren't particularly great, and obviously it's a 5-year car, and he said he wants to see it out for 140,000 miles. It's currently got 40 on it. So we need to be thinking about paint preservation, and the way to do that is by knowing the limits of when to take the correction to. And the left hand side is fine for levels of paint, but the right hand side, it hadn't been resprayed, and I mean, you're looking very minimal paint. So it was a case of knowing how far to take the correction to. But I think we've achieved that, and between 80 to 85, maybe even 90 in some areas, levels of correction. The gloss has been enhanced so much. The colour deserves this type of finish. When it came and when I saw it a few days ago, it was feeling a bit sorry for itself, and it needed a bit of work doing to it. And as I said, this colour deserves this level of gloss. And after a few days, after some long hours of paint correction and some paint protection as well in the form of ceramic coatings, managed to achieve this gloss. So I'm thoroughly pleased with the outcome. Definitely learned some new things along the way doing this, but there it is, all finished, all ready to go. One last thing before I end off the vlog: if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video if you haven't done already, and comment down below with your thoughts on the vlog. And until next time, ciao. Lovely car, lovely colour. One last thing before I end off the vlog. I'm trying to speak like 3 words at once. I just want to say before I end off the vlog, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you haven't already, please subscribe, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know your thoughts, and until next time, until then. Okay, so the paintwork, ready? Voice box didn't want to work.